In this video we're going to have a look at the configuration portion of wireless standard, and we'll have a look at the modules under configuration. In wireless standard we'll go to File, Configuration. The terminal portion of wireless standard contains all the local settings for the workstation, which includes connection settings and POS hardware settings. These settings will have to be configured on every workstation where wireless standard will be installed. Alright, so on the terminal portion we have a connection tab on the top. This is the area where a user inputs the settings provided by B2B after receiving their individual account information. So it's going to be primary host IP address, port, security key, heartbeat frequency, and the cash register line, where we provide the name of local cash register for this workstation that can be set in the cash register list manager. We can also put a check mark only home store, and this feature will enable to allow this particular workstation to only connect to a specific location, and we're able to provide which location this station connects to. Alright, so let's move on to the POS equipment screen. And POS equipment screen allows the user to configure any POS hardware being used for the local workstation, such as POS receipt printers, cash drawers, and pull displays. The receipt printer drop-down menu allows the user to select a preset printer from the list or select a custom printer using custom settings. Choose a pre-configured Windows printer, which unlocks the drop-down menu right below it, allowing you to select the printer installed by Windows. So if we have a look at the drop-down menu, we can choose Windows configured, and then we will be able to choose a printer we want our receipts to be printed on. The cash drawer drop-down menu allows the user to select the preset cash drawer from the list, and we can select custom option to input our own settings. Then we can set up our poll display, and this drop-down menu also allows user to select the preset poll display as well as the port. And if we have a look, we're able to set up a pin pad connected to this computer. We can select a simple magnetic swipe reader or a specific pin pad, and this is the list of pin pads that are supported, and as well a port for a pin pad. Let's move on and talk about modules in wireless standard. Modules button is located in the left bottom corner of wireless standard configuration screen. So let's click on it. What modules is a feature containing all the settings that allow you to customize certain functions of the software. When setting up modules for your business, you can set these settings at the location or company level. First tab, first module is called Sales, and what we can do here, we can set up advanced parameters and settings in wireless standard that concern sales module and sale operations. For example, there are check marks here that can allow to sell without a customer, or disallow to sell without a customer if we uncheck it. There is referral required. For example, there is a check mark allows sale when product quantity is less than 1. If we want to go below 0, we can put a check mark here. There is a setting that's called Enable Cash Register Lock, which when enabled, this feature will request user login information each time they process a POS transaction. We are able to set up tax calculation method in wireless standard, so tax on sales price before discount or tax on sales price including discount. And the rest of the settings here at the bottom. This, for example, coupon discount mode is enabled. If we put a check mark here, then we will activate coupon discount module in wireless standard. Let's talk about sales receipt tab. Sales receipt template allows the user to choose between old or new layouts for the sales receipt. There are show plan minutes and monthly fee options, show plan option a monthly fee, uh, and show first name initial of last name on the receipts. If we use the new template, that will override. We can override store info information by providing each individual line that we want to see on the receipt. So this feature allows the user to override the information pulled from the location manager on the sales receipt, and as you can see, we can upload a logo, we can provide a different store name, store address, or contact information we want to appear. As we move on, we can go to receipt disclaimers tab. On this tab, we can copy or write our return policy. We can set up on which occasion it prints, on small receipts, a POS printer, or full receipts with the big printers, or both. We can specify when it appears, on activation receipts only or always. We can provide a second receipt disclaimer, a second return policy that can only be printed with activation receipts, for example. As we move on, there is customer return and exchange tab, where we provide settings on our and the rules for our returns or exchanges. Activation tab covers the menu and dictates whether the activation should be allowed with or without selected dealer code, for example, in here. And as we expand the menu, we can see payment types tab and credit checks tab. Payment types tab, for example, is used to specify to create and modify new payment methods that customer can use as the payment type. Okay, on the customers module general settings tab, we can activate options that will allow us to set default criteria in the account manager. Also, we're able to set the customer home store to current store on new customer creation. So when this is enabled, this feature automatically assigns a new customer to the store where the customer was created. On the payment settings tab, we can allow to accept checks. This drop-down menu, as you can see here, it dictates the default setting whether checks should be accepted as a form of payment or not. Also, we can set up credit limit, which is a feature that allows the user to set the default and maximum credit limit for a customer. CRM tab on the top of the customer module allows us to specify our outgoing SMTP settings for the server. That these settings will be used to email receipts, for instance, or run marketing campaigns. On the general settings tab of the products module, we can set up following features. For example, automatically update vendor pricing from last PO. When enabled, this option will update vendor product pricing based on the information from the last PO received. We can allow duplicate UPC in different products, or we can allow duplicate UPC aliases in different products. Also, we can put a check mark on useful product description in documents. So when this is enabled, it will make sure that the only full product names will be displayed in all documents. On the activated phone pricing, we can provide pricing by service plan option. If this feature allows you to set a default mode in the commission matrix manager, activated phone pricing mode. If the mode selected is profit driven, it also allows you to define the profit calculation formula. And on the third tab of the products module, which is called Phone Finder, we're able to set up which products actually appear. All product catalog phones, for example, for phones, or phones from the location stock, or phones from company stock. The same with accessories. We're able to set up which accessories appear on the Phone Finder. The Store Inventory module allows the user to manage settings for purchase order tab on the top here, and we can print barcodes after every new receiving. So if we enable this option, wireless standard will make sure to print barcodes after every new receiving. Return to vendor if we enable allow ship to another vendor, then it will allow the user to return an item to a different vendor than the one from which it was originally purchased. Store transfer tab covers this menu allows you to choose whether the system should warn you before allowing transferring products that are not on the original transfer out list, and that's where we set this feature. Also, we can print barcodes after every new shipping. On the inventory adjustment and reconciliation tab, there are different modes we can set up for our reconciliation process and inventory adjustment process. So fill-in mode. Options in this section allow you to customize the employee stock count process. Data entry mode. Options in this selection allow you to customize stock count data entry. Inventory adjustment add default cost method. This function dictates the default setting for the cost of a product when it is adjusted based on the last receiving cost. Stock average cost, product cost from product manager, or no default cost at all. And the suggested ordering tab. Basically, there are several options here. This drop-down menu dictates whether to display the full vendor list for suggested ordering or only the specified vendors for the product. Auto order system. This feature will automatically transfer request purchase order, entry, creation, and wireless standard based on the reorder point restock level. Okay, let's move on to general inventory module. So general inventory module allows the user to manage settings for, and general settings tab here, cost evaluation method. This drop-down menu allows the system to decide whether to use the FIFO, LIFO, or the average cost for cost evaluation. Alright, let's move on to accounting tab. So on the accounting tab, we will set up our accounts. We will link our accounts that we use with QuickBooks with wireless standard. Messaging module allows the user to manage our running line settings, and this feature allows to input a broadcast message for all users, which will appear at the bottom of the screen of wireless standard. Finally, on administration module, we can set up this checkmark called log system after defined period of inactivity. We can set up a period of time in seconds after which, in case of wireless standard inactivity, the system will be automatically locked. We can allow and lock the system by different user checkbox. Without this box checked, only the user that was logged in during the system lock will be able to unlock it. Otherwise, the program needs to be restarted for another user to log in. We can force clock in feature, specifying time. We can activate or deactivate welcome screen. We can activate or deactivate widget workspace. And on the administration module, we will set up our carry commission method. So we are able to set it up through commission pricing matrix manager or from file. To apply any changes, we'll click OK.